federal agents raided the Hyundai battery plant under construction near Savannah. They detained nearly 500 workers, more than 300 of them South Korean nationals. U.S. officials say many lacked proper visas, but leaked documents now suggest some were here legally. Most of the workers have now been flown to South Korea. They were on a charter arranged from Atlanta to Seoul, those arrangements made out of Seoul. Others remained here in legal limbo. Hyundai insists the workers were not contractors, not direct employees, and they say it is now tightening oversight because of that. The raid has delayed the plant's launch by months. It sparked diplomatic friction, with South Korea warning future investments could be at risk here. With us this morning is Jonwong Lee. He is an Atlanta-based attorney who moved here from Korea 17 years ago. Thank you for the time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You were at the Hyundai site when the plant was first announced in 2022. Governor Kemp talked about this $5 billion plus investment and a key part of the state's economic development goals. So from then to now, what went through your mind when you saw the raid unfold 3 years later?
Yes, I just came back from Savannah and I met many of the Korean people in Savannah, and I observed their feeling, their response was fear, uncertainty, and confusion. One of the Korean workers was afraid, in fear, when he saw his friend and co-worker was arrested and treated like a criminal. And one Korean church leader told me whether his church would be a next target of the ICE raid. I saw the Korean parents who keep his children at home from school because of the fear of the ICE raid. Therefore, me and many Koreans are confused of our relationship between Korea and China. 3 years ago, Korea was welcomed as a good neighbor and business partner. Now, all of a sudden, we are treated like a criminal. So we need the answer, why this happened, what we should do next.
Talk about the confusion and the fear. The plant was once celebrated, as you mentioned, a bridge between Georgia and Korea. There was a lot of effort and diplomatic steps taken to bring the plant here. We talked about $5 billion, 8,100 jobs as well. Do you feel that the raid breaches that trust, and what would be the implication, in your opinion, moving forward?
Yes, some of our bond of trust, so it's broken. Yeah, because sorry, yeah. So, for instance, So we generally had a trust. We were welcomed as your neighbor, friend, and alliance. We believed we will be accepted as your neighbor and friend when we work hard and make a job, pay tax, and launch new business. However, such trust is broken without any notice. If we are friends, we have business partner, and we have made the error, misunderstanding on the visa, you just tell them, oh, you made a mistake, you need to correct this. That would be the relationship between business partner and friend. But all of a sudden, instead, treated like business partner and friend, many of Korean is now shackled and handcuffed and treated like a violent criminal. I want to make sure Korean people are not violent criminal. If they made some mistake on their visa paper, I don't want to lengthy argument about that, but I won. But they are not a violent criminal. They came here to open the new business. and new business and boost local economy. So I want the elected official or policymaker show up and stand up with Korean community after isolate. We need somebody to tell us, yeah, everything is okay. You are safe, and this is what you need to do next.
These companies are looking for highly specialized technical workers, and a lot of these workers were here because of that. And this leaked document suggesting at least one Korean worker had a valid visa. From a legal standpoint, how murky are the visa rules for these specialized technical workers that businesses are bringing in?
Yes, many of arrested Korean we came into the U.S. is the B1 visa, also called the temporary business purpose visa. So they are allowed to stay in U.S. for 6 months. So the Korean has no problem with the B1 visa. When we started the Gia plant in West Point, SK plant in Commerce, and Hanwha QCell plant in Cartersville. Again, we had no problem with the B1 visa. So there is a manual, immigration manual, that says the consulting or business meeting would be the proper purpose of the B1 visa. But we have the Korean programmer who installed the program on the computer at the plant. So who can say this is the qualified for the business purpose? Nobody know, nobody tell.
So much confusion around that. We really appreciate your time. Jonwong Lee, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.